Oh, yeah, man. Just got back from vacation yesterday.
Yeah,
Like
where did you go?
went to Kentucky. We visited some friends that we have out in Louisville. So
You did that last year, right?
yeah, we've
I
done that
think.
we've done that the past couple of years or so. It's a really good time. We always just like even before we had kids, this is one of my wife's really good friends from high school, and like they're still good friends to this day. So now they've got their two kids, we have our two kids, and we just like brought them out. We stayed with them. They had an extra room for the kids. It was really, really nice. Let's see. Uh, yeah, man. I don't know. Like it was nice to be out there and just, I mean, can I tell you, Kentucky is humid.
Is it?
It is massively humid, and I have no idea why. Like, I don't even know if it's because you're going further, like if it's because you're going further south, but I mean, because where they live in Louisville, it's like 2.5 hours away from Nashville.
Okay.
So in Nashville, I remember visiting there. We actually went there for Bianca's 30th, and like uh, 90 degrees by like 10 a.m.
Hmm.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Oof.
And like, yeah, yeah. Let's just say if I wanted to hit my goal weight, I probably met it within 3 days. Um, because we're just outside, we're having a good time. We're just, we're tossing some, do you call it corn? By the way, do you call it cornhole or do you call it bags?
Uh, my first instinct is cornhole, but it's
Okay.
we kind of call it both.
Okay, cool. All right,
You
yeah,
want to
because I
throw
feel
bags or
yeah, I've seen it like because I've seen it where so we were doing that too. I was just kicking back and hanging out with my father-in-law, and we were just like throwing the bags around for a bit.
yeah.
And
It's more like it's like a slang for me. It's like basketball and hoops. Like you want to play some hoops? You want to play
yeah,
like you know what I mean? That's
yeah,
kind of how I interpret it.
yeah. It's like, do you want to go ball or something or
Yeah.
hoop or whatever? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we were doing that, a lot of fun. The drive was probably like 5.5 to 6 hours or so.
How's that with the
So
kids?
yeah, here's the thing.
Here we go.
Here's the thing about that. Um, I felt really bad. I felt really bad. It was my wife and her mom. They were actually driving together. Because we had to take two cars. We were not. I don't have. We don't have a car that's like three rows. So
Mhm.
there we weren't going to be able to swing that. We actually did the same thing last year too. Because her parents came with us, and it was yeah. Um, so so Troy and Brody were really good in the car last year, but I think it's probably because they were a little bit younger and they didn't really like know the difference probably between, because they're like, oh, we're just, hey, we're in a place, we're just moving, whatever.
Right.
This time around, Troy did not want to be in the car. Like,
Oh no.
no, no, he did not. He was okay. He was okay for the ride there. At least that's what Bianca and her mom said. But the ride back, like we had to stop at a gas station like 2 hours into the drive. We had to like switch the car seats because just to try and make him feel like he's facing the driver's side instead of like away from it. So he wants to see mom, he wants to see his Mia. Oy, man, the
Yeah.
amount of phone calls that we had on that drive, and then it was like he was screaming. I'm like, oh, dude, I'm so sorry. Like,
Yeah, I vaguely now it's coming back to me because I when you said Kentucky, I remember you last year. You
yeah,
definitely when you told me it didn't seem like a year ago, but
right.
I the reason I asked how the kids were because I remember you saying last year that they were actually like pretty good in the
Yeah,
car.
yeah.
That's tough turn though.
Yeah, they were fine. They were fine after I think once we switched up the car seats, I think it was kind of a I think it took them a little bit to get used to, but they were able to like actually face like out, they could actually see what's going on
Right.
instead of like facing the back seat and not being able to see anything. You know what I mean? So I can understand that. I wouldn't want to be facing that way in a car anyways.
5 hours is a long time,
It is a
even for an adult, but especially
dude.
for a child.
The
That's
amount, dude, the amount of not necessarily back pain, but like the amount of like my like my hamstrings were killing me when we got out of the car. I think it's probably because I'm like they're so it's so stagnant, and then
Hmm.
you get out of the car and your legs are like stretching for the first time and I don't know how many hours, and you're like, oh Lord.
Yeah. Yeah, mine does
So
that after like a half an hour drive. So I totally understand.
it's not fun for anyone. I don't really care to
Yeah.
like any like the amount of time, man. It's just the body's just not meant to sit that still for that long. Like it's just not, you know. So
No, my
yeah.
watch tells me every hour I need to
Yeah,
move around.
you need to stand up because it's a jackass. That's why. Um,
How long
but
did you go for a week?
uh, we were there for, let's see, we took the drive out Wednesday morning, and then we left Saturday afternoon, and we got
Yeah,
back.
so
Yeah,
three,
so about a couple, I would say like two
4
full
days.
days. Yeah,
Hmm.
like two full days, and then half days because of the driving and stuff like that. But no, I mean, Kentucky, you know what, Kentucky's always a really good time. We actually, Bianca and I have always said like if we were, if by some if by some chance, like, because we just, I mean, we love it where we are, like it's home, so, we really like it where we're living, and she's got a really good job, and obviously, like, I work from home, so it's like I don't really have an office that I go to except for my house, but, it's always a really good time. We've always said that that we may, that we would consider moving out there if it ever came down to it, and if the opportunities were right, and if things were just going to work out in a way where we felt it would benefit the both of us and the family and whatnot. So, have you ever been actually? You never been there?
I have not. I
Mm.
actually have never been in the South, which is very crazy
Well,
statement, I think.
I mean, for
I,
one, for
I
one thing,
haven't
it's
I
hot.
feel like I've traveled mostly in the same places. I wouldn't like I would love to go. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. I would love to go to all 50 states. I want to go on a tour.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, but no, dude. Yeah,
I feel like I've gone
absolutely.
to like the same places.
I'm
Like
just
I've
letting
been
you
to
know, you've been to Vegas, obviously, but that's not south.
no.
No, that's not. God, I'm
I've been
terrible with
west.
directions.
I've been
West.
to the west. I've been
There
to the
you go.
west. I've been
There you
to
go.
Vegas 3 times. I don't even know how many times I've been to LA to visit my sister. A lot.
Yeah.
Probably at least probably 5 or 6, I'm guessing. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I've been to Arizona. That's pretty much it outside of New England and New York, but that
What has
doesn't count.
been, what has been like the okay outside of where obviously outside of where you're from, like what's been your most favorite place that you've ever visited in your lifetime?
Uh, Rob, I probably would say LA.
Okay. Yeah.
Just weather is just
I've never been there, actually.
like LA, like the Hollywood ish of LA. Mm. But
Yeah.
like somewhere like around the outskirts of LA. Like if you that like to live, I would do that for sure. Like
Nice.
like where I am right now, from like I'm an hour ish north of Boston. So like if I was in that like radius of LA, I would do that for sure.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
The
No,
weather is
that's
just, I mean, sunny California, right? That's what they
I
say.
get
It's literally
I
sunny all the time.
see, I guess okay, yeah. And see, here's the thing for me, like, because as I was saying about like Nashville, Kentucky,
Mm.
I've been to the South, like I've been to Florida, it's been a while, but I mean, I've been to Florida, and I'm pretty sure the weather hasn't really changed since the last time I visited there. So, even though it's been like 5 or 6 years, um, even longer than that, but when I'm someplace and like the humidity just like overtakes the hot weather, like it's just overkill. I get like so uncomfortable to where it's almost like nah, like I'm not trying to be picky about where I'm going. Like if it's warm somewhere, then okay, that's fine. But like once you man, it just gets
The-
so humid, you
yeah.
can't even, and you're afraid to move sometimes. You're afraid to move. Like if you you're just like a puddle of sweat at one point. And you're like, man, not even Carpe can fix this. I mean, it's just it's ridiculous. Like I'm okay with hot weather, but when the humidity just gets way too much, that's when it gets a little bit like, nah, I could have done without this type of thing. So, but I'm also from the Midwest, so it's like it's always like, hey, take what you can get because then because then winter comes around and fall comes around, and I'm like, don't say that we have a spring because we do not have a spring. Like
Yeah, I always
never.
joke. I always joke with New England that like our spring is winter light. That's you get spring for like a
Winter light.
couple of days. Yeah. It's like you get winter, it's fall, winter light, and then somehow summer creeps up for like a month, and then we're back to fall.
And yeah,
That's about
yeah,
right.
yeah, over here, man, we just have like we get teased all the time. Like once winter is actually over, it's like, hey, winter, winter, kind of spring, nah, probably not really, summer.
Yeah,
It
that's
gets
about right.
yeah, yeah, it gets
Like
really
I will say we've been pretty lucky the last few winters. We haven't had much snow. It's just been stays cold until like
yeah,
early May.
yep, yep. And that's even and then it's of course it's like even the cold weather comes around, you're just like, all right, let me go outside and start my car for a half hour so it doesn't so I can de-thaw everything and I can drive comfortably places, you know.
I hate to, that is like I've been so ready to get out of New England because of that shit specifically. Like I don't want
Right.
to have to like do it, go out of my way just so I can drive my car. Like,
I know.
I just
I
want to
know.
get in, get out, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
Yeah.
have to wake up an extra 10 minutes so I can warm my car up.
I know. I know. Well, mine actually died for a bit last winter. Oh God, that was
Mm,
terrible. I don't know if I even told you about that. I
I
had
don't
to
think
have
so.
somebody, I had to have um my father-in-law, I had to have one of his brothers stop by the house and jump start my car because it just simply the battery was so cold, so frozen that it wouldn't start. And I was sitting there and I go, you've got to be kidding me. I'm like, come on, man. Like, thankfully, my wife didn't have to go anywhere because school was canceled, because it was 50
All
below.
right.
It was 50 below. It was dumb. And like, and I'm like, and I'm sitting there and I go, you got to be kidding me. Like, I've taken such good care of this car. It was a 2018 Jeep Compass. Like, I had it for like, at that point, I'd had it for like 6 years, under 50,000 miles. I take really good care of it. Right. And I'm like, the one thing that is going to stop this car from running is freaking cold weather. You're, so thankfully, there's a happy ending to this. Um,
Mm,
his name is Frank. Frank came by and he goes, hey man, he's like, I'm here. Let's try to jumpstart it. And I go, okay, great. I'm like, let's give it a couple of tries. So then it finally did. I left that thing running for an hour. I did not care. Like I had to make sure that that thing
yeah.
would stay running. Thankfully, it held up enough to the point where I did not need a new battery. And I ended up getting myself actually a new car probably about a month ago. So I was very, very, very happy with it. But dude, like
Yeah.
the weather in the Midwest, you just cannot predict it like at all. But then you go to other places and you're like, man, this is way too humid. I don't know. It's like, and then somebody's gonna be like, take your pick. And I'm like, no, I don't
Yeah.
want to. I can't control the weather. I'm not gonna pick anything. So
Yeah. It was super humid one day last week. I went to visit my mom, and she's the only person I've ever heard refer to it this way, but she's like, yeah, it's really muggy out, right? I was like, yeah, it's really muggy out.
you never heard somebody say it's muggy?
No,
Really?
outside of
Oh,
her.
dude. Oh, dude, we say that all the time over here.
Oh, do you? Okay, good.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
literally have never heard anybody other than my mom or anybody in our family say it's muggy out.
Yeah.
Like nobody around me is like, yeah, it's real. They're like, yeah, it's humid out. Like if I went to somebody and I was like, yeah, it's super muggy out, right? I'd be
Can
like,
you
what the
sense that
fuck
it's a
are you
bit
talking
muggy
about?
out here?
Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, like
Can you imagine?
I'm
Can you
glad to
imagine
hear
us?
that.
Can you imagine us meeting for the first time and then I just said that out of nowhere, like, sorry, man, it's a bit muggy out here, and you're just like, wait, what?
Hold on, you've been talking to my mom?
You're talking about? Did you and my mom talk before this? Because you know, but yeah, yeah, no. Overall, listen, good time.
Yeah,
Glad
good
that
man.
yeah, we had a great time. Weather was good. We even visited like a zoo out in Louisville. So I got to, not only did the kids get to see some animals, I got to be a little bit of a kid too and just be like, whoa, a polar bear. Yeah. I'm like, whoa, man.
It's a polar bear in Nashville, huh?
There was a
Damn.
polar bear. There was a elephants. There were zebras. There were camels, giraffes. Like one of, my kids, their favorite animal is a giraffe. And just to even hear them pronounce it right now is even better. That's like, it brings me so much joy because they're just like giraffe. And I'm like, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, yes, yes.
Giraffe.
I'm like, giraffe is right. That is exactly right.
Sounds like
You
a
are on a roll.
sounds like a rapper.
I know. It does. Some of the things that they pronounce, you're just like,
Giraffe.
you're like, oh man, say that in public to somebody, and that could go a bunch of different ways. Um, but um, but yeah, we like I said, we it was good. It was a good time for to reset as well. Oh yeah, and even since the last time that we since the last episode that we recorded, man, like your Boston Celtics. We said that in the last episode, didn't we? Yeah, we did. Oh, and you got the shirt. I was gonna ask you. I was like, is that an updated shirt?
Yes,
Is that an
sir.
updated shirt? That's what I like to hear. That's
Oh,
what I like to
yes, sir.
see.
We got the merch.
Yeah,
Yes.
man.
It's yeah, it's funny. We any Celtics fan either that I know, like in person, or that like just online, I'll only refer to it as champ
Yep.
from now on. Yeah.
Yep.
What's up, champ? How we doing, champ?
Champ.
Yeah, it's a good feeling. It's a great feeling.
Hey, no, it's good. You know what? Listen, when we were recording that episode, and I was just like, well, hopefully by the next time that we record, the Celtics are going to be NBA champions. And as soon as they were, of course, I texted you and I was like, hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to the fans and the team and everything. Like that's just such a, oh man, it's such a good, listen, I'm so, I'm just happy. I'm just happy. I'm happy for basketball. I'm happy for, you Jason Tatum. I'm happy for Jalen Brown. I am happy for Kristaps Porzingis. That dude,
Kingus Pingus.
I'm
Yes,
happy that
sir.
he and I'm so happy for oh man, I'm gonna forget his name, but oh Luke Cornett. I'm so happy for Luke Cornett. I
Bro,
don't know
Luke
why,
Cornett.
dude. Dude, that
Dude, Luke Cornett, he is a character for one, but he strategically like waited to have uh his free agency signing announcement be the first one when the free agency period.
yes.
He strategically did that because he thought it would be so funny that Luke Cornett was the first name that was like breaking news.
We've got our first free agent signing of what hopes to be a great summer.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
dude,
The
that is
first Woj bomb was Luke
oh my
Cornett.
God. Imagine Woj when he's just sitting there and it's like, hey, really?
we we've got LeBron James, we got Chris Paul, we want to know where Clay, but nope. First saw the
Nope, we
docket
got
is
Luke
Luke
Cornett.
Cornett.
That
Yes,
guy looks like he would probably party pretty hard.
dude, he's something.
Yeah.
They interviewed like the entire team. They asked them all like, who would you least like to sit next to on a plane? And they all, most of them all said Luke Cornett
Luke Cornett.
because not because like they're just like, yeah, he always has to like anytime that there's silence, he has to like break the silence. So it's like, and he was like, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
I can imagine him being that guy for some reason. I don't even like not even seeing him outside of the basketball court, just seeing him and like all of his goofy nature.
yeah.
But of course he's like this freaking tower of a human being who can just put up 20 points on a night where it's just so random. And but it works.
The funniest thing about Luke Cornett, as far as a player, I'm sure people are gonna really enjoy it.
Yeah.
By the way, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
The funniest thing about Luke Cornett is like he early in his career, he was a 3-point shooter. Like he could shoot threes pretty well, but like
Oh, when he was
he
at
doesn't even
Was he
when he
at
was at
Vanderbilt?
I forget where he played in
Yeah, yeah,
college, but
yeah,
like he
yeah.
played with the Knicks with his in his first couple like
Oh,
season or two,
that's
and
right.
he could hit threes like pretty regularly. But once he came to Boston, he was like, yeah, no, I'm just gonna set picks and
No, I'm good. I'm
like
good.
doesn't
I'm
even
gonna
look
get
at the rim.
I'm gonna get rebounds whenever I can, and I'm just gonna get tip dunks. Give me like 5 tip dunks in a row, and that's my points for the night.
Yeah,
I'm
like
good.
I'm like hoping for like in the off season that he just like goes back to that and like he just surprises the shit out of people next year. He's just knocking
Yep.
down threes. He's like, oh, you didn't know I could do this? Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh, hey,
Yeah,
by
yeah,
the
I got
way,
this in my
40,
bag.
by the way,
I got
45%.
exactly. But yeah, no, it feels good to be a champ. Still living high, Uh champ life. No, it doesn't stop, but we got three guys over in getting ready for Paris, the Olympics now. So,
Yeah.
we're gonna win a championship and then bring home a gold medal. That's just what the Boston Celtics do.
Yeah, man. No, it's good. It's good. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing what Team USA can do in the Olympics. I find it God, there was this video that I saw think it was on Instagram, but it was you could tell it was made on TikTok. You just you can just tell.
You can tell.
You can tell.
Yeah.
So even without the watermark. So this guy is like um somebody he was one of the players. I think Kawhi no, not Kawhi Leonard. He was somebody on Team USA. And all of a sudden I'm hearing a soundtrack. I'm hearing a sound in the background, which sounds really, really familiar. Okay. And if you're a Marvel fan, you would already be able to tell what it is. Okay.
Oh boy.
It's the end game. It's the scene from Endgame. And you know exactly what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
The scene from Endgame with Captain America and everybody, and all of a sudden everybody just comes back. Spoilers if you haven't seen it, but if you haven't, I don't know what you're doing with your life. If you're a Marvel fan, you probably have by this point. So just let's just shush. But either way, like
Yeah.
you see you see him dressed as one player. He's got the text over it, and all of a sudden, you see all these guys are coming through. Joel Embiid, LeBron, Bam Adebayo. You see all these guys. Then you see him portraying Giannis, where he's like, what the? He's like, what the hell is this? And then you see like, Dennis Schroeder from Team
Oh,
Germany.
Germany. Yeah.
Yep. And then somebody else from like Team France or Wembenyama.
Wemby.
And you just see, of course it like goes throughout all the players, Jason Tatum and then everybody, and then he's just like Avengers, and assemble, and it's like it was great. It was great because I feel like that's how a lot of people feel about Team USA right now. They're just like, what the hell? What did you do? What did you do? Did you just go tell these guys like, hey, come on down, man. We got to go for maybe what's a final run or something. Um, Depending on how long LeBron
Yeah.
stays in the league.
Yeah.
But it is
It's
it's one of those things. It was just funny.
yeah,
I
man.
loved it. But
Yeah, man. I love the Olympics.
it's
I get
fun. It's a
it's
lot of
so
fun to
fun.
watch.
Like
Yeah.
I will never watch track and field for 4 years on anything. But then once the Olympics are
Until
on,
the
I'm like,
Olympics.
yo, let's see what Sha'Carri Richardson about to do. Like, let me see this. I won't watch.
Yeah.
I will never watch gymnastics. But I'm like, every 4 years, all right, Simone Biles, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm locked in. I'm locked
Speaking
in.
of speaking of Simone Biles, actually, her husband is actually a safety for the Chicago Bears now. He actually just
Right.
got signed. He just got signed in the offseason, and the Bears actually
Right.
gave him special leave
Oh,
to
I saw
go
that.
go watch her in the Olympics. And I was like, damn, that's hell yeah, man. That's awesome. He wants to watch his wife compete in the
That's
Olympics. It happens once every 4 years. Like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna say no? I mean, come on. So
yeah. No, that's good for them.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But the
Yeah,
Olympics
man.
are fun, man. So would you say that's your favorite event? Like favorite event is track and field or?
Well, I mean basketball,
Oh,
but
yeah, I know that.
other
Yeah,
than
like,
that,
yeah, yeah.
um, oof, I don't know, man. I feel like I usually do get pretty into like the gymnastics.
One that,
My sister was really into gymnastics. She was a cheerleader, but I remember like the '96 Olympics when in Atlanta, for whatever reason, I just remember that team because my sister was so into it. I
yeah,
think she was like 14 at the time. So she was like super into it. So just by proxy, being around it, like I got into it. Like Dominique Dawes and Dominique Mucciano. I just remember those names, and I'm like,
yes,
yeah,
Shannon Miller, and
yeah, yeah,
oh
yeah,
my,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
dude, yeah, dude. Oh,
So
that's
like
awesome.
I would definitely get into that. But yeah, track and field was super fun. Swimming, like
Swift,
when the fuck
Michael
do I
Phelps.
watch? When am I gonna watch swimming? But Michael Phelps, Katie Ledecky, like come on,
Yeah,
bro,
yeah, man. Hell
I'm all
yeah.
in.
What are you gonna do?
I
Like,
love it.
yeah, and that's to your point too. Like, when else am I gonna watch this? Probably never.
Never. I don't even
Or
know
they
when
never
it's
even
on.
tell. It's not usually even televised unless it's on like some weird channel
Yeah, is there
that.
a swim network? Do we have a swim network?
Welcome to the pool. This
Yeah,
is how.
right.
um,
ESPN Swim.
ESPN. It's gonna be an ESPN Plus. It's gonna be an extra. It's gonna be an extra something added to your cable
Yeah,
package.
right. Like,
Only it's just something else that they could charge you money for. Um, but yeah, I would say actually I like water polo. Man, like
okay. I got
dude,
I got I got sucked in last Olympics watching some water polo too. Yeah.
the amount of strength that you have to have for that sport. Holy crap. Like to stay afloat, to be able to maneuver and on top of that, be able to throw this freaking ball that like probably weighs a ton because of the fact that it's been waterlogged in a giant pool. Like, holy crap. I was just very I think I watched it like I think I watched it like a couple it was I mean, obviously it's every 4 years, so it was quite a while ago, but I'm like, what? I'm like, damn. Like that was that was pretty cool. Holy shit. Like you're just like you're trying to like they're like sometimes they hold it up too and you could just see like the bicep is just like flexing
Yeah.
the entire time to try and like fake somebody out. And then they just finally throw it and you're like you almost when it goes in you can't help but just be like, like
Oh yeah.
it's
Yeah.
crazy. I love
I
it.
forgot about water polo. I definitely went down like a rabbit hole. Either last Olympics or Olympics before. I was like, yo, this is intense, bro. This is pretty
Yeah.
intense. You watching this? Yeah.
Yeah. My
It's
body
not
was hurting.
it's not the Summer Olympics, but Winter Olympics. Curling,
No.
electric.
Holy
That shit is
crap.
electric, bro.
Yes. Yes. It reminds me curling reminds me of actually to tell you the truth, it reminds me of bags when it gets played on
A little
ESPN.
bit. A
It
little bit,
reminds me
yeah.
of that because it just get people just get so into it and you're like, yeah, throw a bag, throw the bag into the hole. That's what you do. Do it. And then it's like with curling, you're just like you sweep as fast as you fucking can and we're gonna get this. It's so good. It's
I
so
think
good, man.
I think aside from the basketball, but like I think the reason why is because these it's like the perfect amount of these like sports to take in. It's like just this amount every 4 years. That's all I need. I don't need to watch this every week, every month, or even every year. Every
Right.
4 years, yo, give me that. Absolutely. I will digest it and
Yep.
I'll be like, you know what? I'm good for the next four. I'm full. You know what?
Yeah.
Give me to 2 years, 2 more years, we can get to curling, and then we'll be back around ready for some water polo. We'll just
Absolutely.
keep doing this cycle.
Keep
You know?
going. Keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, we hope that yeah, hey, look, I mean, we hope all the athletes from Team USA, we hope you have a good time as if you're ever going to listen to this, but hey, you never know. So, you know,
Simone
hope you have
Biles,
hope you have a
known
good time,
listener of the
man.
podcast.
Simone, please just like take home the gold, do your best. That's all we can ask for. Um, but yeah, well, you know, I'm actually so I was glad that we decided to do this one because there were, you know, we've been doing this for a bit now, you know, 4 or 5 episodes at least. And, you know, I thought, you know, we thought like a Q and A in the last episode that we had mentioned it. You know, we were like, yeah,
Right.
like you guys want to know some stuff, you know, want to maybe we'll, you know, ask some, you know, put a Q and A up there and see if you guys ask us any questions or anything like that. You know, and we had a few. You put out a video and I've got it pulled up right in front of me with this beautiful Blue by Bryant filter. And, you know, dude, Blue by Bryant or For You by Bryant. I don't know what it does to your you, but it just like it did. Hold on, just give me a sec.
Talking about.
If anybody who knows,
Uh,
it's like a cool filter that just like really it just like really I don't know
it
what it
just
does.
pops. It
It
pops.
pops. It brings
That's
out the
that's
good
it.
color. It brings out
Yeah, it
really good
just pops.
colors. And the shirt that you had that day was blue. Oh, blue and white. Look at you, man. Look at you. What are you doing there? All right, so I'm gonna go to
You
the
know.
comment section. I'm sorry.
Uh,
I'm sorry. Yeah, I can't. What can I say? So actually, the one that you know, we didn't really care. Like if they were random, if they were whatever, like if they were about the collaborations that we do together, if they were about content or things off the app, whatever it is. So the first one I want to get to is actually from Crystal, Eljoy.
yeah.
Let's
I
see,
know.
and I think you
Yeah, I know this
know,
question.
you do
I
know.
know the question. I
It's
wrote it down.
Eljoy 2008. Her name is Crystal. She's you know, really we've talked about her before. We've spoken to her a couple of times. Like, I know I have off the app, like content wise and stuff. She's great. Super kind person, very supportive. Um, her comment
Oh,
is,
Crystal. Shout out to Crystal for bringing back the braids too.
oh,
I'm a big
oh,
fan of the braids.
she did do
I'm a
that
big fan of the
recently.
braids. Yes, yes. Big fan of the braids.
There you
I
go.
mean,
There you go.
looks great regardless, but the braids, man, solid look. Solid.
Way to go, Crystal. Good job.
Yeah.
Good job. So what's your, all right. So she said, what's your perfect sandwich? Type of bread, meat, veggies, and condiments. I'm gonna let,
Uh,
you want to go first on this one?
I'll go first just because I feel like there's gonna be some serious disappointment with my answer. So, I, I'm not like I like sandwiches, but I'm not like a big like sandwich guy. really. Honestly, it's a super boring answer. My favorite sandwich is a PB and J. I fucking
Why,
love
why
peanut butter and jelly.
why is that boring?
You
I
know,
mean,
it's not
does that
well.
mean I'm
There's no.
boring? No. I don't
There's
want
like my two favorites: peanut butter and jelly and BLT. And
to.
like
Okay.
they're delightful, but it's very boring. You
Okay.
know,
But let me just tell you something. Okay. When you when you when you're in like a random day, it doesn't matter what day of the week. Okay.
yeah.
There is sometimes nothing that cures whatever you are having for the time being. It's not a permanent cure for the rest of the day.
Mm.
But it's one of those things where it's like it's always a good backup, or it's just one of your favorites. Like you can't go wrong with it either way. That's what I'm saying. Like some people like okay, so now I got to get deeper with this. What type of peanut butter do you prefer? This is where did
Okay, well, okay, here we go.
There we go.
Uh,
This is what I'm
so
saying.
I, I, I will accept pretty much any peanut butter if necessary, but my go-to is reduced fat, Skippy, creamy peanut butter. It has to be reduced fat. I
Okay.
don't know why. It just tastes better for me. I don't know.
Okay.
And then I go with strawberry. It's not even like jelly. It's like a strawberry fruit spread, technically. Um,
Made by Smuckers?
yes, I think so. I think so.
Smuckers. Oh,
Um,
good old
and
Smuckers. Say that 5 times
so
fast.
good old. Yeah, I'm not gonna.
No, no.
Um, uh, so if I'm just feeling, whatever, easy peanut butter and jelly, it's typical. But if I got a couple extra minutes, I'll get a little wild with it. I'll put the peanut butter on one, strawberry on one, and I put, some banana, right?
Mm-mm.
Slice some bananas up in there,
Mm-hmm.
and then, close it up, put some butter on each side of the bread, and then I'm gonna fucking make myself a grilled PB and J with the banana in there. Oh, buddy, yo, now we're cooking. Now we are cooking. All right.
I really hope that whoever invented PB&Js heard that and just calls you one day and is just like, or just gets a hold of you somehow and just says, it's the best idea ever. We got to
Oh,
go with it.
it's you put the butter on, but then I also sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon on it
You do
on each side.
you do the cinnamon? Oh my God, dude.
Oh,
You're killing me
yeah,
right now. You're
yeah,
killing me.
yeah, 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 yeah. So like PB and J in general is kind of a boring answer, but that when I go get in my
The
bag, yo, I get in my
specifics.
bag with my PB and
Yes.
J. I will
Okay.
get in my bag with it.
That's
But
what I like to hear.
but yeah, and I do love me a BLT. Yo, we got a sandwich shop like in my hometown. They make their BLT. I don't know what the bread is. It's like this, like almost Italian-ish, but it doesn't. I don't know. It's hard to explain. But they toast that shit, and then it's heavenly. It's an amazing BLT. I can't. It's the best BLT I've ever had in my life. I can't find a good one anywhere else. I mean, I can find a good one, but not as good, I should say. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just fire. But yeah, I mean, I wanted to answer first because you give off like sandwich guy vibes to me. Like I feel like you would get down, like you are like putting masterpieces together with like sandwiches. Like that's what I get. Those are the things I get from you. So I feel like you got some good answers here.
Okay.
You know, like when I read this question, I was like, this feels more like a Jimmy question than like I feel like you're throwing like chips up in that shit. You got like like six different meats or some shit. Like that's what you know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
am I
Okay.
wrong?
Well, no, no, you're not.
No,
You're
yeah, I knew
not.
you. I
You're
know
not
you.
wrong. You're
I
not
know you.
wrong. That's the thing. So,
That's why I wanted to go first because I'm like Jimmy's
I,
gonna have like six different sandwich like combinations.
okay. Listen, when, oh my God, it's like one of those things where like I am so ready to answer this, and then you set me up perfectly because you just like you just you called it pretty
I
much.
know.
I will
Yeah,
tell you
yeah.
I'm not a put sandwich on the chips or put sandwich on the chips.
Put
Put
chips on the
chips
sandwich.
on the sandwich. I don't go that deep with it, but
Okay, okay.
what I will say is that I do like a really good sandwich where you can mix where you can mix the deli meats. Like I am a huge fan of that. There's actually a shop, there's a sandwich shop, which is also, it's called Butcher on the Block. And it's
Hmm.
really, really, really good.
Already sounds like a banger. Already
Uh-huh.
sounds, yeah.
It truly is. If you like, however we plan to meet up someday, if there is any chance that I could take you to this place, like you would be very like, okay,
I'm
like
in.
this
I'm
is
in.
like this is great. This is great.
I want to go to Butcher on the Block.
There you go.
Absolutely.
You would love it.
Yeah.
You would absolutely love it. So here's the thing. I also got an air fryer for my birthday.
Oh, okay.
Let's just say, let's just say I have done quite a few things.
I'm so
One of
excited
them,
for this.
one of them. Okay. I decided to go. My wife will say like, okay, like I'm adding some stuff to the cart. Like we always do pickup orders because it's the best way that we can do things nowadays. Like especially with kids.
Right.
So can't just bring them to the grocery store. That's a nightmare. Would never work. But so I'm thinking to myself, like, I got to mess with like different sauces because I like ranch. Okay.
Mhm.
I love ranch. I love,
So
uh,
are you a ranch over blue cheese?
yeah. Oh, 100%,
Okay. Okay. Same.
hundred
Same.
percent.
I don't
Do
mess with
not,
blue cheese.
I no,
Sorry to the blue cheese
Desari.
enthusiasts
Yeah.
out there, but
No blue cheese for me. Absolutely
y'all
not.
can keep that y'all can keep
Not
that trash to yourself.
with especially with wings. Like, do not ask me to put blue cheese on my
Yeah,
wings. I'm not
this
doing
is a,
that at all.
this is a ranch podcast. This is
Exactly.
very much a ranch
Exactly.
supporter. I'm a ranch supporter. Yeah.
Yeah. What I ended up doing is like when I say that I'm kind of like mess around with the sauces actually. Um, so I was looking on Target one time and it said Chick-fil-A sauce. It it said Chick-fil-A sauce and it actually came in like a bottle where you can just like,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
the squirt bottle, you could do whatever you I'm sitting there and I'm like, "Oh, okay, we gotta do something with this." So it was very simple at first. Very, very simple. Buffalo chicken.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. Took some buffalo chicken again, got it from Butcher on the Block because they do the sandwiches, they do the meats, they do the deli meats, all that stuff. And I'm just sitting and I go, what kind of cheese would go really well with this? So I said Colby Jack.
Okay. Okay.
Said Colby Jack. And I
Mhm.
put the Chick-fil-A sauce on it.
Oh, yeah.
And then I put that bad boy in the air fryer.
Oh,
And
yeah, right.
I can't, I just I can't even tell you how beautiful it was. It was so good. It was so good. I like I I went a little further with this for my next one.
Oh boy, no, you didn't.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So I went a little further with this for my next one. So Chick-fil-A has a cilantro lime like um ranch type of sauce that you can get sometimes.
that
Or
sounds hella fancy.
okay, cilantro lime ranch or avocado ranch or something like that, okay? And it comes in like these and it's seasonal, very much seasonal. But I figured out I finally figured out a way. I figured out a way to make it. And I owe that to my wife because she goes, she had like this cilantro like sauce that came in like a glass bottle, like something that you would
Mm,
probably put on salads, right?
mm.
So then I sat there and I mixed it with ranch. Mixed it with the ranch.
Oh,
And then I went ahead and again got some this time it was actually Chipotle chicken. Chipotle
okay,
chicken,
okay.
provolone. Okay. Provolone. Put that sauce together and again put it in the air fryer. And, and the thing is like with the air fryer, you have to be careful though. You can't put it in there for too long.
No, 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 no,
You
no.
can't put it in there for too long because otherwise it's gonna be too crispy and like you can't actually taste can't actually taste the flavors and the meats and stuff like that. Because if it's too crispy for me, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like people are probably listening to this and they're just like, wow, you're super picky. And I'm like, I don't care. Um, who wouldn't be? I mean, so
He takes the sandwich game real
e-
serious,
exactly,
obviously. Hence
exactly,
why I wanted.
exactly. So I've done that. So I've done that a couple of times. Okay. I like to mix the sometimes I like to mix the turkey with the ham and the salami. And then you could even go really simple with the cheese. Could be just American, could be American, whatever. Put some ranch on that again, maybe some tomatoes, and like I'm telling you, man, it we yeah, like it's just to me like your prediction of the fact that I am probably a sandwich guy was fully on point. Like it
Yeah.
just yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I've yet
Yeah.
to experiment with other concoctions or whatever of sandwiches, but I mean that's my lunch, man. That's my lunch every week. Like
Yeah. I kind of figured,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
guys know. You can read other guys. Like I can read a sandwich guy, for the most
yeah,
part.
yeah.
Um I gotta say, um I am not a cheese guy.
Good.
Not I don't like cheese.
And that's okay.
Uh and I hear the 12 people listening to this gasping in unison, because that's the response I get everywhere I go. I don't like cheese. I'm very specific and like picky with my cheese, because
Okay.
obviously I love pizza,
Right. Right.
so I can deal with that. But like on sandwiches, can't do it. Just munching random cheese, uh, mm-mm. Nope.
Mm-mm.
It's a no for me. It's a no for me, dog. Can't do cheeseburgers. Got to be straight up regular hamburger. But I can do like quesadillas. I can do that.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure
I'm
you can.
super weird with the cheese. Um, but
Okay.
yeah,
So what okay. So what okay then as far as the cheese goes, then what like what type are you only okay with? Like would you that like that you somebody approaches you with this and you're like, okay, like this is it. Any other kind? No, I'm out.
it's not even like the type of cheese. It's
It's
just
how is it how much then? Like how much actually gets put on it? Because if you think about it with a case, you think about it with a quesadilla, is that's a really that's hard. That's hard because like you try to get like the balance of the tortilla with the cheese and make sure that it's not all tortilla that you're eating, right?
yeah, yeah.
I
I
don't
honestly, it's just very like I've said to people like, oh, so you just like it melted? I'm like, yes, but I also don't like it on a cheeseburger. So, and I don't
and
like macaroni and cheese,
nah, neither do I. I can't.
which is a huge sin in my family, because apparently my grandmother, who has now passed it down to my sister, makes amazing mac and cheese, but I don't eat it.
You're like, no, I
Um,
can't.
so yeah, it's very strange. Pizza, absolutely.
Hmm.
Um, any just eating any like cold cheese, absolutely not. That's a
Okay.
definite no. That's a real quick no. Sandwich, nope. I have to take the cheese off.
Yeah.
Um, but give me a quesadilla. Yeah, absolutely. Give me some lasagna. Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah. You
Yeah, I don't
can't.
know.
Listen, listen, listen,
Super hard. It's super hard to explain.
listen. It's okay
But
if you're not weird if you're not weird about food, I don't want it.
yeah,
I mean, listen,
yeah,
yeah, you got everybody's everybody has their own everybody has their own thing.
yeah. And
Like so.
I acknowledge it's very odd.
Oh,
I very much acknowledge it's not normal.
it, there's no normal when it comes to food, honestly. Like I will say I think I really should say that. Like because there's so many different people that like take certain things
Yeah,
off because they have certain dietary restrictions or they just flat out don't like it. I mean,
yeah,
that's just how it is. Although
yeah.
it's like it's really funny if you go to if you go to a restaurant, then I hear people sometimes like, can I get a salad with no tomatoes, no cheese, no onions, and then it's just like, okay,
So you want lettuce?
so you want lettuce? So
So
you
you
want a
just
piece
want
of
like
lettuce?
some, yeah, just some green leaf lettuce. Is that what you
You want a
want?
piece of lettuce? Can I get a quesadilla without the cheese? So you want me to just give you a tortilla, and we're good with that. Um,
Can I just get a bowl of romaine? Yeah. Okay.
I just
Anything
want
else?
one.
Nope.
No, we're good. I actually just want one tomato, if you don't mind. If you could perfectly slice it just once and then just bring it on a plate, that'd be great.
Do
And
you want different types of lettuce, or no? Just the romaine.
just
That's
that's all
no
I
green leaf. You don't want any iceberg up in there? No. Okay. That's
no
it.
no spinach leaves, nothing. You're good. Ah, no, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. Really showing
But
off of my my lettuce knowledge, by the way.
yeah, hey, I'm
Red
telling
leaf
you.
escarole. Yeah. I used to work in produce department.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, there you go. There you go.
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I would say like the type of bread though too, because I know that's also
That yeah.
the
That
the The bread, like if I could, I okay. I don't really know
Because it's
actually because
it's
I'm
it's
not,
different
I'm
when you
not
like make
picky.
your own sandwich and when you
Yeah,
get
like
like a
I'm
sandwich
not
made
picky.
at like a place.
Yet and I'm not, but I'm not like super picky about the bread, I guess. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna do rye. No, that's not like I won't do that. But like white bread, wheat, sourdough, something like that. Like I'm okay. I'm okay with all of that. It's just that when you start like, just can't really go with the rye bread. Like I don't know why. There's just something about it where I'm like, nah.
Mm.
That's the
No
only time.
pumpernickel.
It, I've actually never had pumpernickel. I'm not gonna lie to
Yeah,
you. I've
yeah. I
never
think
had it.
it's like I think I may have had it not willingly.
No, no,
I mean,
but that's like yeah, again, and I'm like, I think people just say it sometimes just because they like the way that it sounds. Like, oh,
it does sound
pumpernickel.
good. It does sound fun.
Pumpernickel sounds great.
It does sound fun. It's
Um,
a fun thing to say.
yeah, yeah,
Pumpernickel. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. So, all right, so we know that, hey, listen, I'm good. By the way, going back to the peanut butter thing,
Mm-hmm.
I I am okay with. I think we actually do get we do get reduced fat. I think
Mm.
reduced fat, but it's not. It's like
I will accept Jif reduced fat as well if Skippy is unavailable.
so. I'm not like, I guess like I'm not super picky about the peanut butter. So I'm not gonna sit there and say like I prefer one over the other, like, non or reduced fat to just regular,
Mhm.
whatever. I will say where it gets a little bit much for me though is the crunchy.
Crunchy versus creamy. That's a big
Crunchy, well, crunchy because crunchy, I just feel like, first of all, if I can't spread it very well, I'm annoyed.
hmm
I am. I do get annoyed, and then it ruins the bread. You know, ruins the bread. It makes the knife all messy, and then you're like, and the next thing you know, you're just like, what did I just make here? This is
Yeah,
like this is a travesty. I'm not gonna do this. You
yeah,
know,
like I'm not gonna judge you, but like isn't the whole point of peanut butter being that like the peanuts are not peanuts anymore? Like isn't that the whole point? It's
isn't that the whole point
do,
too? If like,
like like do you want lumps in your mashed potatoes? I don't. I if you do,
right,
sure, go ahead. But
Th-
like I don't know. That's I don't like
yeah,
crunchy. I don't like my crunchy mashed potatoes either. But
right,
yeah, each their own. Teach their own.
yeah,
That's
yeah, and
that's your mistake to make. I'm just fine.
yeah, and like again, I'm not gonna, hey, if you like Skippy, if you like Skippy crunchy peanut butter, then fine, go for it.
Yeah, we're not here to yuck your yum. Okay, we're
No,
not here to do that.
never be here, never, we would never be here to yuck anyone's yum. That's fine.
I am not a yucker of yummers. I will not do that. I pride myself on not yucking people's yum. So
There,
if you're into that, go by all means, but not for me.
I'm out. I'm out. I love how we
What
had it. Go for it. Sorry, go
I
for it.
was so with the bread, like what kind of bread do you guys just usually buy? Not necessarily for the sandwich. Just what bread?
Just
I
white,
guess that's we just regular white bread. Okay.
just regular white bread. That's usually what we do. And honestly, like, a lot of the times too, what I've been doing with, oh, I am very happy with the egg sandwiches that I make.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, I
Okay.
actually started, and it was actually very dangerous for me to discover that I could make a really good one in my air fryer.
Oh, okay.
It was. So I cooked the eggs first. And actually,
Mhm.
to tell you the truth, I don't, of course, because I just remember talking to you about this. Like, I'm trying to watch my cholesterol. So dumb. I'm trying to, yeah, it's so annoying, dude. I connect. I'm just gonna tell you a really quick story here, okay?
Please do.
My physical results came back. Like I got blood work last week before we left for Kentucky. Um, and I'm sitting there and I go, uh, first of all, I'm a baby when it comes to needles. So it's like anytime that one comes near me, I'm just like, I start to break down in tears immediately. I took the blood work, whatever, they got it all. And I said to the guy, last time they said my cholesterol was a little high. And he goes, oh, that's all right. He's like, do you exercise? Do you watch what, you look like you watch what you eat and, or you try to take care of yourself and stuff. And well, thanks, man. Yeah. Yeah. But yes, I'm getting like all caught up. Um, and next thing you know, my results come back and there it says cholesterol's high again. I got so annoyed with this. Okay. I'm at this desk. I'm at this desk. Bianca's behind me and she's like working on some school stuff, like some craft stuff. And I'm telling her, and I'm like, Bianca, what am I supposed to do? I like food. I like food. I lift 5 to 6 days a week. I am starving. What am I gonna do? Have a cup of blueberries? she, she looks at me and she's like, Are you gonna be okay?" And I go, yeah, I'm gonna be fine. I'm just so annoyed right now. Like, what am I supposed to do? So here I am. Then I go look up foods that are gonna lower cholesterol. It's like avocados, almonds, blueberries, fruits, whatever. And then I'm sitting there and I'm like, a, a lifter's diet does not consist of avocados and blueberries. We're gonna have to do better than that. Like, you know what I mean? So where was I? I don't even know where I was going with it after once I started telling this story. I get this is what happens. It throws me off so much. I freaking hate it. It's
I
so
feel like we were talking
stupid.
about bread. Oh,
We
you're talking
were
about your
talking
egg
about
sandwiches. Your egg
we were talking
sandwiches.
about bread. We were talking about egg sandwiches because I like to put cheese on my egg sandwiches.
Okay. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do. I take the sausage, I chop that up a little bit, and then I cook the eggs, I mix them all together, and then had a I grabbed just a plain regular bagel, put them on there, and then I was like, well, I really want to add cheese to this. So of course I added a slice of cheddar, and it was the one of the best egg sandwiches I've ever had. It really was. I felt like I was at a restaurant. I felt like I was at my local bagel shop over here that freaking, it's like sells bagel sandwiches. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God. I'm never gonna go out again. Never gonna go out
Did
to eat
you
again.
did you wrap it in tinfoil for like the legit for
I
the
I
whole meal?
honestly should have. I should
Good.
have, but
Yeah.
but I didn't actually. So I'm like, I kind of regret that, but you know,
And put your initials on it.
yeah, Jimmy,
JM.
Jimmy was here. But but yeah, no, I mean, so yeah, I mean,
So on a
I'm
bagel. So you
on a
put it on a bagel,
bagel,
not bread.
dude, on a
Okay.
bagel. Yes, on
Okay.
a bagel. On bread is still good, but if you can
Plain
get it,
bagel?
if you plain bagel, if you can get it right, if you can get it right on a bagel, I feel like it'll
Mm,
change the way you do things in your breakfast life.
okay.
Just saying.
Okay. So
Just
white
saying.
bread, plain bagel.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
I thought
I'm
I was boring. No, I'm just
yeah.
kidding. Oh,
Boring can
man.
be so delicious though. That's the
It can,
thing.
it can.
Like it
I would
really
say I don't have a problem with white bread. I go with a honey wheat. Um
oh, there you go. Oh,
I
buddy.
think is it Nature's Own or something like that. That it's an orange bag. Anytime I see somebody like on TikTok or anywhere that has like in their counter or something that has like that bread, I'm like, same. Yeah, it's delightful.
Oh my God.
Um, yeah, it's not like regular wheat. It's a little sweeter, tiny bit. It's not as you know rough, but it's a little slightly healthier than I guess like a white bread. I don't know. I
Yeah,
like to tell myself it's better. It's a
I
little better. I don't know.
I think I probably would do the same thing. I'd be like, yep, this is healthier. We're good.
Yeah,
But,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, so
But yeah, there
so
we
first
go.
of all, Crystal, thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks for the comment
came
because
out strong with that.
truly did.
Yeah, don't know if you're expecting that deep of a
Right,
of a
right. I
retort,
don't think
but
s- I'm gonna go with I don't think so. I'm gonna go with
probably not.
she was I'm gonna go with like I'm gonna go with as soon as she knows that we answered her question, she's probably gonna message like one of us and just be like, "Whoa, okay, first of all, did not expect you to go that deep with it." And we're gonna be
Yeah,
like, "Hey,
real
listen,
deep.
you asked and we answered." Like
Yeah.
that's how it is. You asked and we answered. First of all, I love I don't know why, but I love Stephen Brown's comment. Y'all have a podcast? What's the name? All the vibes with Jimmy and
Yes.
Derek. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks,
There you
Stephen.
go, Steve.
Thanks,
There
Stephen.
you go,
Much
Stephen.
appreciated. Um, thought a decent question, really decent question actually by Josh of all trades 28. Are you guys going to do guest stars in the future?
Ooh.
So
I'm sure
here's my
eventually.
eventually. I want to say eventually, but I want to say that it's probably a pretty far down the road. Only reason why is because the planning that it already takes for Derek and I to do this, we're already like we already have like a good we're on a good roll right now, right? And
Mhm.
we're thinking of things, we're doing, we're making episodes and stuff. We're finding time to record. To plan with two people, especially with, the lives that we both have with whatever we're doing, right? the scheduling is, I think, probably one of the tougher parts. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't say the guest stars are gonna be like ruled out, but I
Yeah,
don't
no, not
I
for
I
sure. Like,
but not for a while though. Not for a while, I
yeah,
would
like,
say.
and we're still, I mean, we're still also kind of like getting our groove as, as a unit on here. So like I think we kind of want to get to a point where we feel like, I mean, I think we do feel comfortable now, but like when we feel comfortable and like we are just like we feel complete almost in a way as far as like our um our podcasting abilities go. And like
Yeah.
I've done podcasts before. I used to do a wrestling podcast with two of my buddies, and three people is hard to like get all um on the same schedule, same wavelength. But then even adding a guest to that is even harder, because like we would have many episodes where it would be two out of the three of us and a guest, or you know something like that, because all three of us couldn't get on the same schedule. So like it is one of those things where it's like I think we I think it's safe to say we will at some point, there will be a guest on the show at some point, but it's not going to be like a guest heavy show once what that happens. We
Yeah.
want to like the reason we wanted to do this podcast together was because of you know we feel like we can carry we can
Yeah.
carry a
Yeah.
show, the two of us, but
100%.
like we're definitely open to having people on at some occasionally at some
Yeah.
point when we get to
Yeah.
that. But
But yeah, by the way, this is kind of random, but I think I saw Josh of all trades. I actually think I saw him in a commercial on like Adorama.
yeah, I did see that
You
too.
did?
Shout out.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think it was like a coffee commercial or something.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome. Good for
He's
him.
on a few spots I've seen. Yeah, shout out to Josh. He made a birthday video for me too as well. So I want to thank him for that. That was pretty
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. That is
yeah,
a
shout out to
tradition.
Josh.
That is a tradition I'm never gonna break, by the way.
Oh, your video.
I'm
Yeah,
never, I'm
definitely.
never gonna
Yeah,
ever
I don't
stop
want
doing that.
I
But
don't
if you
ever
would
want
have
you to
seen,
stop.
but the funny part about that though, this time around was Bianca actually got to see me make it.
Oh, that's even better. Yeah.
She got to see me make it, and she saw the first time. I mean, it probably took me about 5 or 6 takes just because I wanted to get the dramatics of like the
Sure.
he make me wanna, and then
Yeah.
like that. Like I wanted to get the dramatics down like really well. And so first time I did it, she just looks back on she's watching me do this like while she's watching Friends on the couch. And she's sitting there and she's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm sitting there and I'm like, making a birthday video for Derek. And she goes, and this is the thing. My, she does not give herself enough credit for like her timing on things. Like her timing on things is just incredible sometimes. She'll sit there and she's like, "All right, cool." And I'm just like, and I didn't even we didn't skip a beat. She's just like, "All right." And I'm like, "Yep."
uh,
Like, "Yep." Okay, I'm gonna get back to this. Um,
it's funny. I
so
had to
yeah.
watch it a few times because I was like, is this the same video? Is this the same one from last year? I was
It's
like, no,
just
I'm pretty sure that's a new one.
yeah, I'm good like that. I'm good like that.
Yeah, I love it.
So yeah. Hope you had a good birthday, by the way.
I did. I did.
Good.
I was worried about it.
You
I
were
was
worried
worried
about
about it. Yeah, just because where I've been at physically, I was like, this is probably gonna be the worst birthday ever because I can't really do anything.
it? Oh
But
yeah, no, I get it.
over the last like week ish, a little over a week, started to feel a little bit better, to the point where I was like, I can be comfortably uncomfortable, if that makes sense, as opposed to where I've been like just uncomfortably uncomfortable for
Yeah.
a couple months. So like I could move around a little bit better. So yeah, no, I slept in. I ate a shit ton of fruit
Hey,
and watched some
there you go.
Netflix. Went went down to a local spot, ice cream spot, got a shit ton of a big ass cup of ice cream, and then just went and sat by the beach for a little bit. I had the spot I like to go and just sit, watch, the waves, hear the waves crashing into the rocks and shit. It's very peaceful, and I try to do that every year for my birthday. And then I, finish it off with the only way I know how. It's eating a shit ton of pizza. And that was
There you go.
yeah, turned out to be a
That's
pretty good birthday.
Dude, that sound. Hey, well, I'm glad you had a good birthday because you
Yeah,
deserve that.
thanks.
You really do.
Thanks.
You deserve that. Um, going on to let's see here. What others can I find? Because I mean, there were a couple of
I saw
pretty
yeah,
good ones.
I saw
Yeah.
one let's see, Christine or Mookie. She said I can color either.
You, hey,
Didn't qualify.
hey,
She said I can color either.
you cleared it up. You
I
cleared
did
it up
clear
for
that
sure.
up.
Yeah.
Well, this kind of goes up. Are you first of all, she said, are you and Jimmy ever going to meet? No.
No.
Next question. Yes, we are.
Yeah,
And we're
we
gonna go
will.
get sandwiches
Yep. Yep.
at
We
some point.
actually,
You guys will know.
the funny thing is you said at one point, I think, what did we say? Like we would go to Wendy's.
Oh,
We
yeah,
said we'd
yeah,
go to Wendy's because that's one of our go-tos. But
yeah.
at the same time, I don't know, sandwiches are probably not out of the question
I'm
either.
sure we'll have more than one meal. That's
We're all just
so
gonna we're
we'll
all
have
just
more than
gonna
one meal at some point.
we're
So
just gonna eat.
yeah, yeah.
We're just
But she
gonna
also
eat.
asked, funny enough, she asked, "What is your go-to meal?"
Oh, that's difficult.
Mine's always pizza. It
Yeah,
really is. It's
yeah, yeah. Like mine is always, no man. I don't know. It's a toss up for me between well, no, actually, I shouldn't really say that because even though I love food, my go-to is probably just like a good cheeseburger.
okay. Yeah.
It is. It's a really good cheeseburger. There's a place over in there's actually a brewery over, that's a word I can never pronounce correctly or say 5 times fast, but a
Brewery.
brewery where it's called More, More,
Giraffe.
Giraffe. Giraffes go there all the time.
Yeah.
So it's called More, More, and there's a couple of locations, but there's one that's like really close to there's and actually Mookie actually might be familiar with it because she is also from Illinois. So I'm wondering if she's gonna have some feedback about that when
Oh,
she
okay.
listens to this. But really good, a really really good cheeseburger. But like one where it's like I get picky about this though, because if it's too greasy, if it's
Hmm.
too greasy for me, I can't. It to me, it's
Takes it out.
disgust. It's
Yeah.
disgusting.
Takes you
Like
out of
it
it.
just
Yeah.
kind of takes me out of the whole experience, and I'm just like, all right, I guess I'll eat this because I'm hungry. But
Hmm. Hmm.
this really could have been better. I enjoy a good cheeseburger that is like not too greasy, but also not too dry.
Okay.
I really do. And you give me an egg, you give me you give me couple pieces of bacon, pickles, some cheese, and like a tomato. I'm not a big fan of lettuce.
Mm.
I'm just like the more that we talk about food, the more I'm not a big fan of lettuce. I don't know why. I feel like I could do without it, you
It's
know?
well, it's just kind of there a lot of the time.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know if it's just there to like be like, hey, I'm here to help. No, I don't think so. Like
It's
I
like
just
this. It's like a silent letter. It's like
Yeah. Yeah. You're kind of just like,
it's like what do you
why are you here? Why are you here? So
how do you like your burgers
me-
cooked?
medium well.
Okay. Medium
Medium
well.
well. Medium well. I feel like well done can be you could get a little you can get a little risky with well done. The reason why is because again, like I don't want it to be dry.
No.
Don't want it to be dry, man. It's just like if you like let me ask you something. Like what as far as foods, okay? As far as foods like you make yourself for dinner, like we were talking like are you like a steak guy, you chicken or pork chops maybe or something like that?
Usually chicken,
Okay.
but I do
So
like a good love me a
so
good
l-
steak. Usually chicken.
let me ask you something though. With chicken especially grilled chicken,
Mm.
I'm not if that stuff is dry, well,
Yeah.
I cannot.
It's tough. It is
It
tough
right.
to yeah. Yeah.
So with the same thing with me with a burger. It's like you can't don't don't make it dry, whatever you do, because otherwise I'm gonna be upset. I don't want to be.
Yeah.
I don't want to be when I'm eating my food.
Chicken's really tough though, because like you
It
can't
is.
undercook it. Because you can't
No,
undercook it.
no,
You
it's
like a
chicken. You
burger
can't.
or steak, you can undercook and you'll be okay
Yeah.
technically. But like a chicken, you can't really undercook it because you'll salmonella and shit.
Yeah.
But no, I get medium well. I can respect that. I'm a medium myself. It's like medium rare, medium well. I think in that vicinity, I can
Yeah.
anywhere in that I can be okay with. If you say well done, I'm like, oh, I'll probably gonna side eye you. I'm not gonna yuck your yum. but I will
Of
side eye you a
course.
little
Of
bit.
course not. We're
That is
not.
kind of
Yeah.
serial killer shit. Like willingly. Like I mean, if you go to like we said, Wendy's, like they make it well, pretty much well done. Like
They always.
all of them. So
Yeah.
that's one thing. But like if you willingly want them, okay,
Mm, yeah. So
do
yeah.
it.
So like with it. So like with it though. With it, that's really tough for me because like fries are always a good choice. I
Hmm.
mean, to me, they're always a good choice. But at the same time, I don't know, man. Sometimes you can't go wrong with tater tots.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can't go wrong with tater tots. I don't know why, but you know, just because I don't know. There's just something about it. Something about it a little more handheld, I guess you could say, not as like, all over the place. And I'm just getting so incredibly deep with this. But
Yes, you
like
are. That's fine.
you just have to. It's fine. This is what we're here to answer questions. This is all on Mookie. This is all on Mookie to tell you the
Yeah,
truth. I
yeah.
mean, hey, but
This is a
so a good cheeseburger with some fries. Yeah,
oh,
absolutely. And then if you can
okay.
top that off with like a Sprite or a Dr. Pepper, I'm good with it.
Mm, a Dr. Pepper. I like to switch it up with my sodas. I, my go-to is root beer. I love me some root beer.
Okay.
Specifically Barks. It's got to be Barks though, usually.
Oh,
'Cause
it's
it's
got to
got
be
that
Barks.
got
Okay,
that
not A&W.
I mean, if that's all they got, yeah, I guess.
But you prefer
But
Barks. I get it.
I
I get
prefer
it.
Barks.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I love me a good Dr. Pepper though too. Anything that's
So
got that bite, it's got a little
I have
spice or a little bite to it,
now I gotta ask you though, because of Dr. Pepper, they have just been making so many different variations of the flavors. Like they just go all of the, I feel like they're just going all over the place with it. Okay. So
It's a bit much. It's a bit much for
it
me.
is a bit much. I will say the only time that I would say that I've been like, I'm like, okay, this is okay. It's Dr. Pepper cherry.
Okay. Yep.
I've been all right with
That's
that.
fine.
I'm all right with that, but just stick with the regular. The
Yeah,
regular
because
Dr. Pepper already works. It already works. It's fine.
it's already got 23 flavors in it. Does it really need one more?
Right.
Isn't whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. But there you go. But there you go, Mookie.
I did want to go back to real quick the Crystal question.
Mhm.
What's your perfect sandwich? Because I thought of another one. What's your
You do
perfect
okay.
sandwich?
Okay.
Ice cream. Ice cream sandwich is my perfect sandwich.
Ice cream
That's all.
sandwiches, bro.
Ice cream
Wanted
sandwich
them.
is my perfect
Wanted
sandwich.
them.
Wanted them.
Wanted them. You can't go wrong with that either. I mean, hey, I will say that I haven't been there have been like certain weeks where it's like I'm really big into ice cream. Like I'll go like every like couple of times a week. Okay. Couple of times a week, like Bianca and I are sitting down, we're watching a show. She's like, she already preps her ice cream. She puts some Cool Whip in it, puts it back in the freezer. It's ready to go, right? Ready to go. For me, a lot of the times I'm just kind of sitting there and I'm like, well, I can only do ice cream so much throughout throughout the course of the week. I haven't been on it lately, but I can understand that though. That's a
Mhm.
pretty good sandwich as well.
Yeah,
So
it's a great sandwich. It's a
I
great
think that
sandwich.
I think that works. Absolutely. Um, let's see, what else do we have here? Trying to look from WrestleFan 91. I thought this was pretty decent. What are your favorite artists or artists plural of all time and currently? Feel like that's a
I'm
loaded
assuming,
question, but
yeah,
I'm
I'm assuming music artists.
gonna go with yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I, I hope I'm going to interpret it as that because I don't have other than Vincent Van Gogh and Pablo Picasso. I ain't got nothing for you
I
as
have
far as
no
artists.
yeah, I don't really know of many other
Um,
artists painting wise,
yeah,
creative wise.
I'll assume music. All time for me, number one is Michael Jackson,
Oh,
forever and always. Uh, and I'd say an Eminem number two. But currently, I don't know if I have like a current like favorite. Like I mentioned Eminem and just dropped an album, so I guess I will say I not my favorite artist, but I've been really enjoying some Sabrina Carpenter lately. Love me some
I,
Sabrina Carpenter.
I have yet I have yet to actually listen to Sabrina Carpenter.
Oh, you are missing out, my man.
What am I
That espresso. Oh yeah. Oh man.
are we talking about like is this would this be something like if I missed out on JoJo?
That's a, honestly, high key, not a bad like,
Not a bad
not a.
comparison or
I mean, Sabrina Carpenter's having a moment right now. Like
Okay.
she's
Okay.
killer.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh, I'm not like a Swifty, so like I wouldn't say like a Taylor Swift, but like yeah, I'm not like fanning over like people these days really. I mean, like I can't like I'll say like Chris Brown when I see he has an album out, I'm like okay, I gotta check that out. When
Yeah.
Eminem has an album out, I gotta check it out. But I'm not like losing my mind over many artists currently.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say I'm really the same way. Like the music that I listen to is just it's so diverse and like there's like no consistencies for like what
Yeah.
type of genre I even like. Because I like pretty
Genre? What's
much
the genre?
what's the genre? Not not everybody belongs on the Rasta. But it's like it's one of those, it's just one of those things though. Like if like listen, if I hear a good Michael Bublé song, I'm all for it. If I hear a good,
Yeah.
listen, if I hear I mean I range from Shinedown to, like I said, Michael Bublé to Justin Timberlake to depending on the song, honestly, like depending on the song, it could be Eminem. Like, I mean, could be Eminem, could be Michael Jackson, could be TLC. I mean, don't go chasing waterfalls. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm
Don't
all over. I'm all
don't
over the
go
place.
chasing. Don't go
I'm
chasing
I'm
waterfalls.
gonna
Do
stick
not.
to the rivers and the lakes that I'm used to. That's
I would
just how
highly
it is.
recommend that. I would highly recommend that.
It's what I do.
Yeah.
So I also like Collective Soul, you know,
Okay. Yeah.
Collective Soul. Like bunch of the 90s bands and stuff. Can't go wrong with NSYNC, can't go wrong with Backstreet Boys. Like you can't, I mean, so lately, I guess if I really were to come down to it, I would probably say that I'm still very much like a fan of Justin Timberlake's latest album.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
I have listened to that on repeat for I don't know how many weeks ever since it came out.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
I-
it's a good album. It's a really good album.
It is. And I think you actually told me that his latest one, you actually told me that it kind of gives you the 20, what is that, the 2020 album kind of vibes or
There's certain songs, yeah, that gives me that vibe.
yeah,
You can kind of hear like all of his albums
right.
throughout that one album, and he kind of talks about it. I forget which podcast I was listening to where he kind of like went through the making of that album and kind of touches on that where there are different like every album of his kind of has a certain sound that you can kind of hear throughout this new album. But yeah, no, I agree with that album, solid. But what you're really saying is you're taking you're not going to choose a one favorite.
No, I'm
That's
not.
what
I
you're
can't.
telling me.
I can't. I
He's copping
can't.
out on the question, guys. It's fine.
I pretty much am. I
Yeah.
can't. I can't though because if I were to say that I have a favorite right now, that would just be I would just be lying to you because then I go into my gym playlist and I'm like nope that
Yeah.
yep that too. So it's definitely all over the place. But
Hmm.
I think for us to experience, I like to experience all types of music. So
Yeah.
just how I've always been.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I said Michael Jackson is easily number one for me. After that, there's like I said, Eminem is up there. Aaliyah up there for me.
There you go.
Love Aaliyah.
Yep.
Uh, I mean, Kanye for the longest time. Not so much lately, but um,
I think that's a lot of people's reaction.
yeah. Yeah, I know. Justin's up there for me. Usher,
Yeah. Yeah.
Alicia Keys. Bro,
Yeah.
I will say I haven't been to a ton of concerts in my life, just a few. Um, but my sister, she used to dance for Missy Elliott. We probably can get into that in another episode.
Yep.
uh,
I'd
but
say we'd have to.
yeah. But she went on tour with her a few times. One of the tours was it was Missy, Alicia Keys, and Beyonce. That was the first tour or first concert I ever went to.
Dang.
I
Okay.
I had already liked Alicia Keys. I absolutely fell head over heels in love with her music that night. Like if I wasn't a fan, I would have easily became a fan. She was so good. Like Beyonce was good. Missy, obviously, both legends. Missy was a legend at that time already, but Alicia Keys blew me away, man. I at that point, I think this was like 2003, maybe 2004. I was like, holy shit, she's so good.
Yeah.
I was like, already like, yeah, I like a couple of her songs. Falling, yeah, I keep on falling. Yeah, I like that song. But then seeing her perform live, holy shit, man, the voice, yo, oof.
It's a different experience. It's a different experience when you get to experience it live. It is.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
gives you
Shout out.
gives you a deeper appreciation. And sometimes like even you're just like, oh man, I thought I loved them now. I thought I loved them before that, but I went to see them live. When they're even better when they're live, that's when you that I got to tell you, like as an artist, I would have to say that's got to be one of the I would have to say it's probably got to be one of the better accomplishments you could have. You know, people love listening to your music. Yes, like they play it on streaming services. They play it on CDs when it was a thing. Can't believe
Mm,
I just said that, but it is. Streaming services, CDs, DVD, or CD players and all that stuff, Walkmans and everything. But
yeah.
when you can go to a concert live and you get to experience that, and you even like it's a song that you've listened to multiple times, millions of times probably. You go to the concert, you hear that, and you're like, I could not have loved this song any more than I do now. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just it's a different kind of experience. So I can understand that. I can understand that for sure.
Yeah. Yes.
Um, so I
I saw one on yours
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
Carrie asked. Like,
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Mermaid Love, Mermaid Love
I
is the handle,
that
but
that is the handle.
it
So
is
I
the
wasn't I
handle.
wasn't off. I
It is the
wasn't.
handle. You were not.
Oh,
When you text me that, I was like, oh,
yeah,
oh
yeah.
damn, all right. You were onto it. You were onto it. And
It is
so
Mermaid Queen,
Mermaid Queen
but her at is Mermaid
is
Love.
Mermaid Love. So there
So
you
yeah,
go. There you
I
go.
wasn't.
And
You said Mermaid Lover, which
I
I was
like
very close. I was very close.
hey, if it was Mermaid Lover, I would not judge. But I thought it was she did have a really good one. And I think this is actually a good one to end on as well. Um, I want to hear a happy memory from you when you were both kids. Maybe even give us a kid photo to go with the memory. So, here, Carrie, here's the thing that I will tell you. I would have to go into quite a few archives to find pictures of myself when I was younger, for reasons that will remain private. Um, so they just I don't have a lot of photos of me as a kid. And actually it's pretty funny. Bianca and her mom are always kind of saddened by that because they're just like, we don't have barely have any pictures of you as a kid. And I'm like, I know, but just look at my
What's
son,
really?
bro. Look at my son Brody, and then you'll see a spitting image of me. That's just how it is.
I was just gonna say
Um,
the funny part is like nobody really knows what you look like as a kid, so we could have literally put just any
it could
random
have been
picture of,
anything. It could have been
as a
anything.
kid.
Just go Google Justin Timberlake as a child.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm just gonna put a picture of a smart guy.
there you go.
That's when
There
I
you
was
go.
like,
There you go. Um, like a happy memory for me when I was a kid, uh, you know what? I actually did have quite a few. This question was actually kind of hard for me to think about, um, for personal reasons. It really was, just because I didn't have the greatest childhood. But, um, you know, one happy memory that I have as a child is when, I let's see, I was on a it's actually sports related, but, um, I hit my first home run, in a little league baseball game, and I was maybe like I think I was about 10 years old,
mm,
and I don't know what it was because I'd already loved like baseball is one of my favorite sports. It always has been. I mean, I think it's actually number one or two, with probably number one, and then basketball would come after that, just because I was always really big into baseball and still am. Um, but I remember hitting my first big league home run, and I just remember like the sounds of the I remember the sounds of the baseball field when it happened. I was kind of just, it was like it was very like everybody was quiet. Everybody was really quiet. Like it was like a full count. Pitch was about to come through, and the next thing you know, I saw the ball really well, and I just crushed it, and it was gone. Like just gone and like gone in a heartbeat. And I wasn't really like I wasn't really like a strong kid. I was super skinny. I just put everything that I had into it, and I just shoved it out there. It was gone immediately. And I think like the feeling of running the bases and the feeling of hearing like people cheer, and then like, you know, and just like being able to jog around the bases and just enjoy that experience. Definitely a happy memory for me as a kid, because not a lot of people thought that was something I could do. And when I ended up doing it, it was, yeah, I don't know. That just gave me a lot of like, obviously a lot of adrenaline. I was a young kid. So, you know, anytime any young kid can hit a home run,
Mm.
you're like, yeah, that's part of the dream right there. So,
You hear that ping? Mm.
yes, you hear it. Yeah, you hear it. You just hit it so well. It's so square on the bat that immediately, as soon as it hit the bat, you knew it was going to be out of here. Um, yeah, so that's one for me.
Uh, yeah, this is a tough one just because like I had a pretty good childhood. I think I maybe like spoke on this on one of our podcasts before. Like I had a pretty decent childhood up until like I don't know 11, 12. So like I it's just hard to like narrow down like one like, great memory. I it's just I think I just miss like the freedom of even though we didn't really have complete freedom as a child because you're a child, but like just like the freedom of responsibilities and just being able to go and do whatever the you know it's like me I like a buddy of mine like my best friend growing up probably in my that grew up in my neighborhood. Justin, he was like 2 years older than me, I think. So like I thought I was super cool for hanging out with him because I was like 8 and he was like 10, and I was like, oh wow, oh wow,
Hey,
I'm
now
so
hanging out with the
cool.
older kids.
Yeah, yeah. But like he would always like what we would always go on like these like adventures and shit, like riding our bikes through like the woods and shit, and like every day go drive to like or ride up to the corner store, get some candy or a soda or whatever, and just have like doing that shit during the summer. Like I just miss
Yeah,
you know what I mean? There's no specific event necessarily, but being able to do that shit, I miss that a lot. And like
yeah,
I've been in like I just take that shit for definitely took that shit for granted as like a kid. Where it's like now I'm like, oh dude, that's like the best time ever. Just going with your best friends and like riding around on your bikes and going to the corner store or whatever and like just being a kid. Like that's like I miss that shit.
yeah.
But like specific events, I don't know if I have like a specific like
Specific,
core
yeah,
memory. It's tough.
yeah. Specific events are are hard to recall. I mean, I know I had mine, but like, yeah, it's just really hard to, it's just kind of like really hard to narrow that down.
Yeah.
But
I'd
like,
have to like think a little bit longer on that maybe, but
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, it's a good question. It's a good question though.
it's a great
Really
question.
is. Great question. Great comment. Yeah. So, but there you go, Carrie. I mean, that's how, you know, hey, we got to dive into that a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Ask
mean,
more. Ask more.
yeah,
Whatever else you want to know.
I was gonna say, like anything else that you guys want to know, like please leave us comments or send us a DM or something like that.
Yeah,
Especially when we post like videos of the podcast itself, like trying to like I try to put clips together and stuff and like put them out there. Haven't had a ton of time recently, but we're definitely working on more of that. And on top of that, we have the full video version of this on YouTube. So, I mean, you know,
yeah.
and I think Carrie actually, I think she commented on she actually commented on the last one. She just said that she loves listening to us for like an hour or however long it is. So, look, hey,
Yeah.
we appreciate that. It's all good.
Absolutely. But yeah,
But yeah,
I had fun with this with these, so definitely will
I
do this
want to do
again
this
for
again.
sure.
I want to
I
do
want
this
to let's
again
do this every week,
every week. It's literally just
every
going to be
episode. Let's do
called
this
the
every episode.
Q&A podcast. It's no longer all
Yeah,
the vibes. We're just doing Q&As.
we'll talk about
Um,
sandwiches,
sa-
Chick-fil-A
Sandwiches,
sauce,
pizza, it'd be
giraffes,
great.
whatever you want to talk about.
Giraffes.
Hell yeah.
um, so yeah, I mean, as always, like we appreciate you guys for, you know, for listening and supporting. Again, make sure that you go and give the podcast a rating if you haven't already, because it does help out. So yeah, I mean, this has been all the vibes with Jimmy and Derek. Glad we got to answer some questions here. And again, please feel free to ask us anything else that you would like, and you know, we'll just kind of keep going. But until next time, um, make sure that you make a good sandwich. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
crunchy, no crunchy peanut butter. Whoops, gonna end on that. Hey.